chatting away. The top left, we do have the Blue Terran player currently fighting for his place in the series. It is Morrow. Let him feel your love in the chat. His opponent in the lower right position as the red Protoss. We do have BabyKnight currently in a very nice spot, I think it's safe to say. So, is either of these players going to get slightly concerned that they're talking so much? Because, of course, the previous time this happened, Morrow went for an 11-12 proxy 2 racks.
Yep, he's exactly right. And Morrow actually starting this game mentioning how I longed for yesterday. I thought he was going to break into song for a second because Reapers sadly aren't what they used to be. He can't do the same strategy in Heart of the Swarm, unfortunately, as he was so famous for doing that 5 racks Reaper in Wings of Liberty beta. But now that we know that's been tested against BabyKnight and it has failed, we should be seeing something else come out of him. So at the moment, Morrow's back is against the ropes. BabyKnight has his number right now. He's up 4-1. Winning one more game will allow him to win the show match series. And Morrow is going for the command center first.
That's a bold move. He's done it quite a lot. And admittedly, this is a map you can do it because it's a huge map. But still, you're laughing at the in-game chat, aren't you?
I am, and it's also something I can't repeat on stream, which is so sad.
I know, it was very funny. I'm trying to ignore it as best I can. I'm actually looking at your face on Skype while I'm talking about what they might be doing and just staring at the production tab. Just being like, I must not look at this because I will start laughing and it will just be me and you with 2,500 people listening to us chuckle to ourselves. But exactly. In terms of strategy, the Morrow's going for, it's the 1 command center, 2 barracks following this up. Meanwhile, for BabyKnight, he's got the 1 gas, 1 gate, 1 cyber core about to complete. So it's looking like a 1-base play. And I've got to say, I love the chat's opinion that BabyKnight is 4-1 up. He should go for something awesome. He should just do like some awesomely cool strategy. Go carrier rush him. Just something like that. You can afford to lose a game if it goes all wrong. And if you don't, you'll die a Reddit hero.
That's a really good point. I did not think about it that way before, but I really would like to see some Oracle play come out of BabyKnight. I think when you actually get to pull that sort of stuff off, it looks so unbelievably cool. So it would be really nice to see something like that. There's plenty of time yet for him to go for something funky. Just got his 2nd gas. Everything looking pretty normal so far. The expansion gone down as well. Morrow going to be scouting out inside his main base. In the meantime, he's followed up his pretty quick command center first build, of course, with 2 more barracks. Not floating that orbital down to the low ground just yet. Getting the scout off inside the main base, no doubt. He'll feel safe to start mining from that very soon indeed. And really, the playbook is still very much open at this point of the game. Neither player committing to their tech yet. So there is plenty of scope for BabyKnight to go for something funky.
Now, I've just noticed a tiny little thing that bothers me, which I really want to feedback. A floating orbital still has the worker counter tab shown.
That's
like it's a base. That, in my opinion, that should disappear when you flight it.
Unless it resets to 0. So what you're going to have to do is do a test now where when you lift your orbital, if something's attacking it, for example, does the worker tab reset to 0 on that orbital?
This is something which, no joke, after this series, I'm going to go and test this and give it a go and just be like, does that work? I will screenshot it, and depending on my findings, and if I find them satisfactory, I may or may not email Blizzard with them and be like, look, this is, I know it's minor, but it bothers us. Like, my OCD is killing me right now.
We will find out. But of course, maybe one day Terran will get an upgrade. In the next Heart of the Swarm patch, we'll have Flying Mule so that after you lift an orbital, you can still mine. In which case, everything will be fine. We'll have to wait and see. And it looks like BabyKnight is hiding a Twilight Council at his 3rd base location. So he is going to be going for some interesting play. And I think DTs might, in fact, be the order of the day here.
He's going to DT rush. It's like he's waiting for the gas. Should be coming down. Oh no, he's got enough gas word.
No, he's got. Yeah, no, he's got.
I was like looking at the wrong tab. I was like, okay. I think it's going to be DT still. Of course, there are Widow Mines on the way out for Morrow.
No, he's waiting for the Twilight Council to finish. That's all.
Oh yeah, that's all. Isn't it? Obviously, that was one of those really dumb things where you're sitting there like, why can't I understand why this happened? And like, oh yeah, because it's right in front of me. So
well, he was non-stop trying to reposition the probe like he was ready to do it. I can totally see how that would slip.
It's like, what's he doing with this probe? It's so intently focused. Why is this positioning so important? Then it's like, oh, the Twilight Council's not done. That explains it. But yeah, so far, of course, the Widow Mine is there on the ramp. In a previous time ago, Morrow will be wishing for days gone by where Widow Mines attack cloak units.
That's
because
right.
Otherwise,
they can't do that anymore.
No, so of course that means that just blindly putting a Widow Mine there is not going to save you. And it does mean that really Morrow needs to scout this, because otherwise DTs are going to be in your base slashing your workers, and there's going to be very little you can do about it. So the rock's getting taken out because BabyKnight might as well take his third base if he's already got some critical tech structures down there. And in terms of the work, it's looking pretty equal. 46 probes to 43 SCVs, factoring mules. I call it 6 of one, half a dozen of another right now. So it all comes down to this scout. Morrow's going to see him! Morrow sees it! He scouted the DT shrine! That is brilliant! Morrow! Oh, with a Hellion.
Oh dear,
Seriously.
and if Morrow's name was Lemony Tang right now, he would make 35 Hellions and use purely scans to counter the DTs.
I was literally going to make a Lemony Tang reference there. No joke. But the rocks are now coming down. The DT's running across, but of course, straight away, missile turret at the natural. Morrow's like, I know what your plan is. I'm really hoping that we're actually going to see a DT killed by a Widow Mine with the detection. That will literally make my day. Widow Mines are like a caster's best friend. They're like burrowed banelings, except reusable.
I love that. That is a brilliant quote. Caster's best friend, but reusable. And here we go. The turret is up, but sadly, the DT was able to get away. We're not going to see a Widow Mine blow up a DT today, even though the turret got up. My apologies, Mattles, maybe a little bit later on. In the meantime, though, behind this, Blue Flame and +1 for his mech is coming down for Morrow. So he's going for a mech-style TVP. Very, very cool stuff. Not something you see every day, of course. And I'm really looking forward to seeing how well he pulls this off. Don't forget that BabyKnight's invested a lot in that Twilight Council and that Dark Shrine, and the DTs weren't able to do any damage. So if Morrow gets a really nice timing in with a decent mech army, he could be in really good stead here.
He could be indeed, and there was a time when going mech against Protoss was basically crazy, but again, without the need for siege mode, you're in a very, very good defensive spot with some early tanks. That's fine. You've also got the Hellbats as well, which means that the Hellions are going to have a much better engagement against charge lots. So because of that, you're in an okay spot. This 1DT is going to start... No, it's not going to start chipping away at the Hellions. I saw it was on a move command, unfortunately, rather than an attack command. That is a bit of a shame, but still, looking around, we've got Morrow taking up those 5th and 6th gaps. We've got the Hellions still running around, but some great force fields from BabyKnight there. Shuts those down so hard. Seriously, Lemony Tang would be crying right now if he saw that. That would ruin his day. Those poor Hellions.
Oh, that was really good, but BabyKnight is supply blocked to high heaven on 110 right now, only just starting 2 more pylons. That will not hit. That's a bit of a momentum killer when you just win a decent engagement. You put down some pretty nice force fields. You're getting ready to move out for the counterattack, and you go, oh, I'm supply blocked. And it could have been an extra round of warpins. Really frustrating situation to be in, as we see a Dark Templar hanging out on top of a Widow Mine at the Watchtower. That's about as ballsy as you can get, but hey, welcome to the new patch.
I know, it's one of those things where I can see why they did it, because otherwise Widow Mines just became ridiculously strong. Like, it's in every matchup against... You couldn't go for any burrowed Infestor play against Terran, because if there was a Widow Mine there, it would just kill the Infestor. You couldn't go DTs, because you could just put down a couple of Widow Mines. And with all of those, with so much utility there, it would just be so crazy. But, of course, we are seeing BabyKnight position himself up, but Hellions are slipping into the main natural, and one even going down to the third. Blue Flame is done. We are going to see some fried probes tonight. And as we're seeing, the DT warping in trying to deal with this, but still the cannon at the third base will put a shutdown to it. In the natural, the Archons managed to close it down, but the main base, a couple of kills going off, and Morrow can be happy with that.
Yeah, that's not absolutely picture perfect, because at the end of the day, those Zealots with charge are able to close down those Hellions a bit more quickly than they otherwise would. But 18 workers killed so far this game, and BabyKnight is moving in. A lot of heavy-hitting units here. We can see, oh, nice, we even have hallucinated Immortals here to make the army look a little bit bigger than it actually is, and to soak up a little bit of damage as well. A couple of Archons in with the mix as well, and these siege tanks are not the best unit of choice against these 4 models that completely wipe out that fortified position outside the third base. BabyKnight, big plus there, resetting that tank count from Morrow.
Indeed, and without those tanks, of course, we're seeing Morrow in a very difficult spot, Jorasar. He's only got those 4 Hellbats out. He's getting some more Hellions. He does have a Ghost, which he's just got in his mech army for the sake of it. And he's also sitting there now having to defend at both the third and natural. BabyKnight trying to attack every which way. Siege tanks trying to get in a nice position, and that is a good position for them. They can cover both the third and the natural. So BabyKnight, he's just going to have to walk in with those immortals when he feels brave. There are Widow Mines around everywhere though, and some of them are detonating on these units, and they may not do much, and Widow Mines don't actually take into account immortal shields, which is actually quite a cool thing about them. So they do very good damage there. And all in all, I'd say BabyKnight is now very, very nicely ahead. He's a bit behind in terms of the economy, but he's got a sizable count of immortals against a mech army, which is going to be very nice for you no matter which situation you're in economically.
Oh, and this medevac is going to get spotted completely. No surprise whatsoever. Really nice scouting there from BabyKnight. Using the boosters on the medevac to get out of there is Morrow, but of course, BabyKnight knows what is incoming. And now heading into the main base, and we're going to immediately warp in a couple of Stalkers to try and deal with this. Those Hellbats taking out the Stalkers for now, but the problem is... Oh no, High Templar, what are you doing warping that in there? The main problem is, though, they are not killing any workers right now. Excellent warping of the Zealots, zoning out those Hellions as they currently stand, and no damage is going to get done by this drop. In the meantime, in the top right, we have another engagement. This time, the Hellions will also not come out on top.
Indeed, that was a situation where the drop got shut down very nicely. Those Hellions at the top right got shut down very nicely. And it's really what BabyKnight wants. I'd say he has got an awful lot of control over this map right now. The only thing Morrow has going for him are those Widow Mines scattered about, the two of them on the field. And that's just allowing him to pick off things when he sees fit. And of course, if you just get a unit for free with a Widow Mine, it's always going to be good. More Hellions, though, by this left watchtower. Oh, my goodness. One gets taken down. They're trying to run away as best they can. And now, with the scan, the Widow Mine took out a DT. That has maybe made my day. Oh, I was waiting for that to happen. But unfortunately, DTs don't apparently have very pretty ragdoll physics to when they die. That's a bit of a shame. But still, we see a good position. The army going to go here. And, well, the Hellbats trying to warp in. The Hellions are getting taken out very quickly. We do see the tank right at the back are staying alive. But Archon's flanking Jorasar. This is going to be tough for Morrow to hold.
Oh, it really is, coming in from both angles. It means that while the tanks are busy focusing down the Archons, the Immortals are just having their way with the rest of the army. However, the Widow Mines doing such a good job there just as the Immortals were coming in to take out the tanks. Oh, that was beautiful. The Widow Mines taking out the rest of them. And over here, meanwhile, on the left-hand side, the only thing BabyKnight has going for him is the world's most expensive borrowed Zergling, i.e. that DT, preventing that fourth base from going down. But even that is going to hit the dust.
Now, I'm just going to recap. Those Widow Mines were incredible. They took out those Archons so well. And this is where Widow Mines can actually really alter the dynamic. Imagine in Wings of Liberty, without those Widow Mines there, what would have happened to Morrow? I'll give you a clue. He would have died horrendously. He got flanked by Archons and Immortals. With Widow Mines, no problem. He came out very much on top. He's now maxed out. BabyKnight is 63 supply behind. And also on equal bases. So this is looking very good for Morrow. He's got a lot of Hellbats, a lot of tanks, a couple of Thors. And of course Hellbats can be healed by medevacs. Here comes the engagement. But Morrow, he has just got such a sizable force here, Jorasar. BabyKnight's forced to retreat.
Yeah, this is looking just unbelievable. This is just unstoppable for Morrow at this point. He is going to be able to take this game, I suspect. And means that the series is going to go 4-2. So it is going to prolong a bit longer. BabyKnight will not be able to take home the cash just yet. Morrow sieging up in the natural, in the natural expansion of BabyKnight now. He's going to be heading up very soon. Not much he can do. That was a beautiful engagement with those Widow Mines, a couple of money EMPs from the Ghost as well, and BabyKnight just had no answer to it. Morrow with mech against Protoss here, showing us how it is done, and BabyKnight at the moment just has no answer.
I like the fact BabyKnight's army is just kind of wandering back and forth around his natural, just kind of saying that, like, I really should do something about this. I'm not quite sure what. I can see your army, and I've got an army, but it's never going to work. Maybe if I attack from this angle? No. This angle? Yeah. No. And this is really Morrow now in his opponent's main. He's going to start picking off the production. BabyKnight trying to go for it, but of course the Hellbats are sitting there holding their ground. The tanks are sieged up very nicely, and they are doing some good damage. A couple of EMPs hit as well on the Archons. And it looks like BabyKnight actually is going to be able to clean up this push for the moment, but he's lost his natural. And of course, look at this. Wave 2 coming in towards the fourth of the top.
That's right. The Archons did a really nice amount of splash damage here, but unfortunately it wasn't going to be enough. Even though the units were clumped up, by the time that was cleaned up, Morrow just had army number 2 getting ready to hit this 3 o'clock base over here. And sadly, BabyKnight now down to 76 supply. Morrow has a 100 supply lead. A third army is slowly starting to form outside his third base towards near the watchtower around the 4th. And Morrow can just keep hitting all day long at this point. BabyKnight really doesn't stand much of a chance. GG, and Morrow pulls it back.